In this video I have some fun. I grabbed the wrong tool. And I find an interesting way to cool off. Hello and welcome. If you follow the channel, you know that I recently picked up what was the cheapest Audi S8 for sale in the country. I knew it was going to need one or two small things to make it presentable, however, I wasn't expecting what I found. I knew the car had been in a rear-end collision in the past, however, after really looking under the skin, I started to realize that whoever did the repairs didn't do such a great job. So after getting the brakes done up at the shop, I take the car home to go ahead and finish what needs to be done and give the car a good wash and detail so I can put it up for sale. So in this video, we'll be tackling a water leak in the trunk, a little bit of body work, some mechanical work, and other odds and ends. So go ahead, grab yourself something to drink, sit back, relax, and watch the repairs begin. Okay, so what we have here, these guys right here, they actuate the flaps in the intake. And very brittle plastic, they always go bad, they always break. So I bought a kit to change them. Let's see what we got in the box. Okay, so we got the diaphragms themselves, and then we have the, what are these things called? I have these guys here. We have them short and long. So I think it looks like the short ones, but at least now we know we just have to do that one bolt in the back. I don't have to actually undo the bracket. So I think it was a 10 mil. Let's go ahead and get one off and see how it works. Well, it wasn't a 10 or a 12, so let's try a 13. No, geez, 14. Yeah, but I need to get onto it. They're not in the best spot, so I need to get that off first. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh yeah, these are very brittle. I'm gonna try to just wiggle it off with my fingers. There you go. That nub is still there in the way, so a ratchet might be better than a wrench. Nope, can't get that in there. Gotta use a wrench. Okay, it's a 13, not a 14. And I couldn't find it, and then I found out why. It's because I already pulled it out. So I just cracked it loose. Let's see if we can get that on there. Yeah. I'm going to need both hands for this. Okay, I got that one over there off. This one just disconnected the vacuum hose, got the wrench like that, and start breaking it loose. As far as the couplings that were here, just use a screwdriver, put it in between there, and pop it straight off. It's real simple. Okay, so here we are, just comparing the parts. They look identical. Unfortunately, they look like they have the same flaw, but at least these are new, so the plastic isn't as brittle. We're definitely going with the short arms here. The long ones are way too long. This kit works for a number of different Audis, so if you have the intake manifold, runner, control, flaps, and these actuators are broken and you have an Audi from this era, it'll probably work on yours as well. I know there's a couple of other ones that have this issue. Many of them from the era that have the V6 or V8 engine have this problem. So they look similar. I'm just going to confirm that the bolts thread on here, and then I'm just going to lube them up and go ahead and reattach these and see how it goes. Okay, so I got the first one on. Now the second one, I wanted to show you guys something. This part right here is a little smaller than the part here. And as soon as it got on, I then used a pair of pliers and squeezed this back together the best I could. And as you can see, it's not going anywhere. So there you have it. I'm going to do the same thing here. Clean this up, put it on here first, and then put it on there second, because this one's going to be a little bit trickier. Okay, so vacuum kicked in, and it looks like that one needs to be tightened up, but this one's holding. Now, if you see, there you go. You can see where there's some kind of, what is that stuff? Seam sealant right there, right where the screwdriver is pointed. That's where the body repair was done, and they didn't seal it well, it looks like. What I'm going to do first is clean up the area and then cover it with something, and then I'll know whether that's where the leak is coming from. I'm 99% sure, but I want to find out. So I'm going to clean that up, cover it up, and let's go from there. I had to remove the hinge, as you can see, and it is getting a little dark out, so I'm just going to do this quickly. I've been working all day. Supposed to be enjoying the bonfire. There's all the other cars, or a few of them. There's the Cutlass and the C55. So unfortunately, right in here, the idiot who did this made the lower piece higher than the upper piece here, so the water is going to stop there. So I need to use this piece of wood and a hammer, get this down a little bit, and then seal the seam here. I was able to remove all the seam sealer that was improperly put. So let's get to it. Alright, my stubby sledge, piece of wood. Give it a shot. Okay. I don't want to go too much. Okay, that corner a little bit more, and I think we are golden. Bingo. I don't need anything else. Now I can clean it, seal it, and we're good to go. Let's get some light. Find my proper spatulas for this stuff. So we're just gonna flatten it out. That's it. Dun 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 dun. So by the end of last night, I was able to work on the rear of the Audi, get that taken care of. We also were able to get the IMRC actuators situated. As you can see there, they are functional. I tested them, they're working good. I found that when I went to do the valve cover on this side, because it was leaking, especially in the back, that the bolts were like a full turn and a half loose. So I tightened everything up, I let it run, and it's clean. So I'm going to see how that goes. Just, it turns out somebody might have done the work before and just not tightened it, because they are quite difficult to get to, especially these rear two here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead And I'm going to remove the trunk, and then these areas in here where I sealed, I'm going to make sure that they're good. And we're going to gently sand them just to scuff them up, and then we're going to go ahead and paint in here to make it a little bit more presentable, because as you can see, it's flaking everywhere. It was all black up to a certain point, I believe. Let's get to it. Excuse the attire. It's 90 degrees outside and all I got is a fan in here. While that's drying, I'm going to do a vacuum, clean out the interior, and get it ready for detail. This side is pretty much dry. So now I'm going to put the hinge back on and then work on that side. So I remembered from my old S8 that I had, I bought new charcoal filters and I never used them. So this is how you change them on an Audi S8. There are two of them, right there and right there. And it's very simple. I already took the other one off. These little things here, twist, twist, and they pop right on. See how simple? That's it. Take the old ones out of the frame, pop the new ones in with the foam to the bottom. See, I can even do it one-handed. Put the tabs up in there, line them up with the holes, and then, oh come on, I was on a roll here. Well, that part I'm going to need two hands for. In usual fashion, I listed the car for sale. After a week of no calls, one weekend, a whole bunch of people wanted to come see it at the same time. The first gentleman who came saw it and bought it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.